one word to sum up the games.
Inspirational.
Amazing.
Life-changing.
Courage. Shocking.
Emotional.
Oh no, you don't need to get your
Epic.
Life-saving.
Inspiring.
It's unbelievable.
Incredible.
Chill.
Powerful.
One word, an epic journey.
Martin, one word.
Spectacular.
Excellent.
Brilliant. Emotional.
Lost my phone.
That's not one word. Start again.
Amazing.
Inspiring.
Awesome. Absolutely amazing. Jackpot!
Inspiring.
Sensational.
Magnificent.
7. Or does it have to make sense? It's alright.
I'll put my hand up straight away. I burst into tears.
Words don't describe getting an email like that. It's very mixed emotions. It's just so surreal.
What? So I got onto the phone to my mother straight away, and she was over the moon.
It's happening. It still doesn't seem real now, but yeah, it's happening.
This to me is wow, you know, this is an amazing opportunity and I'm doing some things that I've never really done before. So it's proper challenge by choice.
It makes you forget about the horrors that I've seen and I've been through.
I'm hoping that this will actually boost my confidence and my self-esteem so the anxiety doesn't always be the biggest part of me.
I'm not just doing this for myself, but I want to do it for other people. I want to inspire people. Just because they got a disability doesn't mean that they can't do anything. Go out there and make a change in life.
The feeling of camaraderie about the whole games, not just within your own team, is phenomenal. And that is what I want to be part of.
I hope to be able to obviously gain experience and knowledge from others who have had their own individual recovery battles that I hopefully can take away, and as a part of that I can also get back to the fitness level that I want to be. Ensuring that I can be the best that I can for, not only for me, but for my family.
You can sit around feeling sorry for yourself and thinking, you know, this was my life before I got injured, or you can go, well, this is my life now, but I can do all these kind of things instead.
Don't need to kill yourself, just keep it brisk. I wanted to share my experience, but also in terms of my recovery journey. Physically, it came to an end, but kind of psychologically, helping other people, it's something that is still really helpful in terms of motivation.
If you're not comfortable, you're not going to go and get your power out.
It's like the fact that, you know, you get a group of people who've never met before, possibly haven't even seen the sport before, and you know, you just get a chance to teach them, you know, the basics of the game, and let's let them go out there and enjoy themselves.
You get to push each other on, you get to cheer each other on. Yeah, you know, you've got each other's back. Just like being back in the armed forces, really.
We've had the opportunity to try out sports that, you know, ultimately I probably would never have been able to try out if I didn't come across to this event today.
I'm already pushing my own comfort zones that I could see there was other people sat around in little groups, and I took the step to go out to them and say, "You're here for the Warrior Games." I wouldn't have done that a couple of weeks ago. This has actually already given me a bit of confidence in myself.
From all walks of life, all over the country, all with different illnesses and disabilities, but we just get on.
Without Helpful Heroes, what would I have? Nothing.
I don't know where I'd be, but I definitely wouldn't be as positive about things as I am now.
Helpful Heroes has offered me the feeling of comradeship, the feeling of being part of a team.
I think, had I have not challenged myself through the Help for Heroes system and put myself forward for things, I think I would have declined, and I think that my children would not have had the same mum. It's not just me, it's wider.
Do you know what? When we get told that we got selected, it was really exciting, but it doesn't sink in. And I've been waiting until it sunk in big time. And it wasn't until we got to Gatwick, literally going into the departure lounge, and it kind of went, oh wow, it is real. It's real. I'm getting on a plane, travelling across the Atlantic to America to Warrior Games. So it kind of hit me there. I'm originally from Manchester in the northwest. I now live in Warrington. I got involved with Help the Heroes through me having several injuries, originally through post-traumatic stress disorder and a few physical issues, but over the years it's got a little bit worse. I'm now wheelchair 80% of the time, which has kind of impacted my life tremendously over the last few years. Today we played golf, which was the opening competition for the Warrior Games. Firstly, I am incredibly honoured to be able to be the first member of Team UK out there. It was kind of emotional at the beginning because the American media were all there, and they opened it up like you would with a PGA star or an LPGA star, and it was really cool. We had the SOCOM guys coming in by parachutes.
That number one jumper's feeling those winds out. He's literally feeling what the canopy's doing, and he's going to put the rest of the stack in the best position that he can so that they can land it down here on this postage stamp. Marine Raider, Master Sergeant Jeff Duncan. Beautiful, Jeff. Looking good, brother.
We had the national anthem. And that I'm stood there representing my country effectively, and for me in my late 40s to be able to say I've represented my country with the help of Help for Heroes is amazing. The day then got long, very long. It was brutal out there. It got very real after about the 4th or 5th hole, where the temperature was a massive issue. But the support staff that we've got with us have been amazing.
Oh, good shot.
I can only do what I do out on the golf course because I've got such amazing people that are there helping me to achieve what I want to achieve. And without them guys, I don't think I would have been able to do 5 hours in heat that I really don't know how hot it was, but it was hot. So it was brutal, but it was fantastic.
Today I've just competed in the 100 metres in my classification, and I came second, so I've got a silver medal, which is awesome. I did not expect a medal at all in athletics, so really pleased. To be invited to be part of Team UK at the Warrior Games is absolutely amazing. To be invited in the first place was electrifying. To be asked to be team captain further down the line was astounding. I couldn't believe it. Help for Heroes have really pulled this project together, and we're just treated so well. And the other nations, our kit's the best. Everyone wants to swap t-shirts with us at the end of the games. And it's just really well supported, really well organised. We don't need to worry about much. Out of all the events that I'm doing, the 100 metres is the one that I felt less prepared for, the one that I was dreading because I'm not a sprinter.
How you feeling, Georgie?
I'm good, yeah, it was fun. Nervous?
Yes, I want to get on to 20. You got to 20? Yeah.
My legs and I entered sprinting to have a go and try something new. The coaches at all the training that I've been doing have been fantastic, so I thank them really for having a bit of confidence in me and helping me along. But also our gold male athlete, Alan, has been beasting me basically. He's been telling me off when I'm not starting fast enough and taking me through all my drills before the race, so a big thanks to Alan as well.
Can I get a hoorah?
Hoorah! War Games mean a lot to me. It means, you know, resilience. It means bravery. It means just courage. You know, all these guys who came out here, wherever their experience is, they came out here and they were awesome. Absolutely. I'm quite delighted with what I've done today, day's work. I'm cropping 100, the 200s. I was quite surprised with the 400, but you know, it's a penultimate race, and I thought, you know, I nailed it, so really good.
Any words of inspiration for your teammates yet to go?
I would say, you know, we got off to a good start on the track, and I think we should just carry on that momentum all through the week. We've done well to get here so far, and I just think we just need to carry on and finish strong.
Smashed it, kids.
Hey, good job, bro. Good.
Oh my goodness. So before the race started, I felt sick. I was really, really nervous. Once I got into the tent and registered, I sat with 2 Australian girls that were lovely. They told me that we were just talking, all saying how we were going to cross the line together if we were all really slow. And then once the race started, I really enjoyed it. It was really super hot out there, so it was just keeping myself in the zone. I could hear people cheering me on, which was great and pushed me to keep going until I got to the end of the 3rd lap, spewed, and then carried on going. And then when I crossed that finish line, I was just overwhelmed, really, really happy. I think because my first event's done, my nerves have settled. Before my first event, I was really, really nervous. But now one's done, I think I'm feeling a lot better.
So I have got a load of sick over on lane 1. Okay, you did warn us that you were gonna.
Looking at other competitors that we've got here, some of them have got a lot of more physical injuries than I have, so I feel really grateful that I'm here. I don't feel like I'm worthy to be here sometimes.
What do I want to achieve in the Warrior Games? I didn't come here to get medals necessarily, and medals would be lovely, of course, and my children didn't put any pressure on me much to get medals, but I came here on a bit of a journey, on a bit of a recovery pathway. I wanted to see what I could do. For me, Warrior Games in Tampa, especially with the heat, is the absolute challenge for my illness. So that's why I wanted to do a track event, never done 100 metres. I wanted to do some outside events to absorb the atmosphere. And I just wanted to see, what can I do? What can I achieve? And having now won a medal, absolutely amazing.
There might be some warriors out here, Connie, who haven't had the opportunity to be a part of the games. What do you want to say to those warriors out there in regards to how your team did?
Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that was done here, the team spirit itself. Of course, on behalf of everyone watching, their first win Warrior on Beach Lane,
I got the full breath. Yeah, that's me, sorry.
To be asked to be team captain is an absolute privilege. To then lead the team out tonight will be overwhelming, probably quite emotional for me, to be honest. Since being out here, I'm trying to sort of balance the team captain and the athlete thing. So trying to listen, make sure everyone's okay. It's quite obvious sometimes when people are struggling. So me and my vice captain Lindsay, we're giving people the space, but people are also coming to us. So I think what we're doing is good. I think people are approaching us when they've got an issue. Team captain is, like tonight, will just be absolutely amazing. I think it will absolutely sink in tonight when I carry that flag and I've got my team behind me.
Give me Team UK!
Team UK!
Hey!
Woo! It's coming on! It's coming on! Don't stop!
proudly supported by Help for Heroes. They are honored to represent the United Kingdom and thanks SoCal for the invite. Ladies and gentlemen, Team United Kingdom. But certainly not least, Tampa Bay, your hometown team, the Quiet Professionals, based out of MacDill Air Force Base just down the road. Make some noise for Team SoCal! Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the United Kingdom. The torch has been passed to Army Specialist Stephanie Johnson from Arlington, Virginia. The torch now in the hands of the Netherlands, Corporal Joey Blokland, the Royal Netherlands Army veteran from Maribor, Netherlands. The torch now passed to the United Kingdom, Senior Aircraft Woman Lindsay Kelly from Oxfordshire. And now the torch is being presented to SoCal, Sergeant First Class Brant Ireland, representing Willow Spring, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, Sergeant First Class Brant Ireland will now pass off the torch to General Clark and Tampa Mayor Jane Castor to light the cauldron. The 2019 Winter Games officially have begun.
Thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, and for demonstrating the incredible power of the human spirit. Good luck in the game.
Cycling time trial this morning.
Hot as heck. It's bizarre. You're on the bay, and the bay, it's like a lake. It is so crystal clear and flat.
Make some noise for our women riders today.
There's a slight breeze that helped.
It's not all about the men.
But it was still like being in a hairdryer, and it was just trying to keep your eye on the person in front because the road is that straight. And at one point you're just thinking, this is never going to end. But the crowds on the side were very supportive. The police lining it, the locals supporting as well. And obviously other British expats that have come down to support the area, even from the other nations, just cheering you on. It really, really lifts your spirits.
Nobby, how are you feeling?
Excited, looking forward to it, nervous, but I'll give it my best, that's all I can do. I've just done the time trial on the cycle ride, 5 miles. It was supposed to be 10, but because of the temperature they reduced it down to 5. Made it easier for us. It set off, it wasn't too bad at the start.
Make some noise if you're from England or the UK. Great Britain, we got our first rider up from the UK, Gordon Clark, number 69, ready to roll. Riding with an amputation. Great to see everyone out on the course today.
I did the first half roughly where I wanted to do. I felt it in the second half, but then I saw the finish line come into view, and from there it just gives you the adrenaline to push through and get across. It was nice, warm, but a nice ride. The adrenaline and the feelings you come across, like the sense of achievement that you've done it, is the best feeling I've had in a while. It'd be nice to go home with a medal, but I've already won by being here. That's the main point to me. Taking part in achieving and doing something that I didn't think I'd ever be able to do.
Slightly left of the 35, so that you go close into the curb as it bends.
So I joined the army as a combat medic in 1999. I served for a total of 19 years. I've picked up several injuries over that course, and the biggest being that I have no cartilage left in my knees, leaving me with severe form of arthritis. I'm also missing 2 discs in my spine, and I have PTSD. A friend of mine who I've known for a very long time had done Invictus previously, and she had strongly recommended the power that sport has for recovery. And she could see me sinking down this black hole of feeling worthless, feeling nothing, and switching off. And she knew that sports recovery would be ideal, and it could do so much more for me. Sports makes me feel alive. It makes me feel worthy. It gives me a challenge, and it gives me focus. It's something I can involve my family with, and it brings communities together. I have to pinch myself every morning. I'm here, I'm part of this, I'm part of the team. I'm not fading into the background, I'm doing something.
The strength of one individual going as fast as the other individual, and that's really what it comes down to. That's why they call it the race against the clock. I think I need a week. For all of the athletes out here.
I think Team UK is a common goal. We all want more. We all want more than what we've been diagnosed with. We all want more than what we've been labelled with. And we want to show that we are more. And we will push through, and we will prove that.
Sure, it really puts a tax on each athlete. It's as hard as it gets. It's anaerobic for a very long time, 10 minutes. And so it's like if you went out and ran as hard as you could for 100 meters, that kind of feeling you would have in your lungs and your legs, that's what these riders are experiencing for about 10 to 15 minutes. So no joke today. Frankie, Andrea, thank you very much. Thanks for being down here today.
Digging and pushing all the way through, not giving up. That's UK.
All right, to the UK.
What time was you looking for?
I thought 17 would be realistic.
15:26.
Getting.
Smashed it. Oh. 19 minutes and 15.
Have we got any results? I was like, yeah.
Let's go.
Silver medalist.
Go.
Woo! And Mitch smashed his time by like 6 minutes. How are you feeling?
Oh my gosh! Oh, I do like silver. I was not expecting that. The two ladies I'm up against are absolute machines, so... Oh!
Background was I did 27 years in the RAF as an intelligence analyst and was subsequently medically discharged due to the condition that I've got, which is called spastic paraplegia. So I then kind of had a couple of years in the wilderness, and one of my friends from Headley Court happened to mention, because I was part of the Band of Brothers, do you fancy having to go for the Warrior Games Invictus Games? So we did last year kind of as a trial run, and then was very lucky to be successfully selected this year for the Warrior Games. So that's how I came to be. How does it feel here? It's been a phenomenal experience. It's great with the camaraderie with our own team, where we've all kind of supported and helped one another from the day we've come out here and at the training camps before. But it's just been in this kind of environment again, where you don't have to justify yourself because of your disability, which is a good thing in itself, but also you've got other people here that you can compete against as well. So it allows you, for me, it's one of the things I wanted out of this process, was to challenge the condition I've got. And Warrior Games has really allowed me to do that, which has been phenomenal. So it's really, really good.
Number 12.
For me, cycling is challenging my condition and trying to let my condition not beat me. It allows me to focus on what I can do rather than trying to accept what I can't, and that's what it's given me.
Seb, what do you think about being at Warrior Games?
Good. Yeah. It's good all the time.
Is it really good fun? Yeah. Is it really good fun watching all the sports?
Yeah.
Yeah. And watching Daddy compete? Yeah. Have you been cheering very loud? Cheering for the UK team?
Yeah.
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 I've been in the Army for about 8 years. I commissioned into the Royal Artillery in 2012, and when I was a troop commander, so about a year after I commissioned, I got injured. It started off as like a minor glute strain, and it just progressively became worse and worse, to the point where I found out that I've got neural impingement and then nerve damage in my lower limbs. So that's obviously had like a little bit of an impact on where I go and like the jobs that I've taken. Particularly like playing with my kids and stuff as well was the thing that kind of got to me the most, probably because of obviously like having pain in my foot and in my ankle and in my hip and all that sort of thing. So that kind of bothered me. And then the length of time it took to get a diagnosis as well was about 5.5 years. So that was quite long to endure. Phoenix House, one of the recovery centres, is really close to where I live. So it kind of became the obvious thing to go in and just sort of speak to the right people, really, and it kind of fell from there, really, and being involved in sport and the gym through Phoenix House. And then obviously the Help for Heroes sort of mentioned at that point there was things like the Invictus Games and the Warrior Games that I was eligible for, so it kind of progressed quite quickly once I was in. It's almost like a runway of like a pathway that you can kind of move along, which is great. So I've got the sort of the training process with the Warrior Games, and then obviously the actual competition with the Warrior Games, and then to sort of move forward as well with Invictus trials and then Invictus Games potentially as well. It's great to know there's not just one opportunity, it sort of moves along, and there's loads of different things to aim for, which is very motivating. It's brilliant to be here. Like, it was a great thing to sort of have as an aim for quite a long time as well. So even in the run up to it, when I put my application in, it was probably a few months before we found out that we were going. So to have a bit of a focus, to have something to train for rather than just openly training in the hope that something kind of comes along has been really, really useful for that reason. So it's been really motivating for that sort of year-long period, really, which is great. It's the atmosphere, I think, that's so good as well. Like, I'm lucky because I've got my family here as well. So and it's nice to be in an environment where there's no requirement to kind of explain your injury in detail beyond the initial sort of onset of what it is. It's really fun as well, that's the thing. I think it's probably the most exciting thing about it, really. It's just a nice place to be, so yeah, it's good.
I deployed to Afghanistan in 2008 with the 1st Battalion Royal Regiment, where on the 14th of July 2008 I was caught up in an IED blast, resulting in the double amputation of both my legs above the knee and the loss of my sight. It had a massive impact on my life. I sort of really only came to terms recently that a part of me died in Afghan that day. And it changed my life forever. I suddenly went from being an independent, mobile person to suddenly having to rely on a lot of people to assist and accommodate me and being able to do everyday tasks. For the first number of years of my recovery process, I didn't really appreciate or understand the impact that sport could have in recovery. It's only in recent times that I've seen that. My physical and mental well-being had taken a bit of a downward spiral, and through applying for the Warrior Games, it enabled me to get back involved with sport, the powerlifting, the rowing, etc. And my physical and mental well-being has improved. They make you feel a lot better, more positive about yourself. I've had a lot more energy, a bit more get up and go, a bit more drive. It's been terrific even here this week with the rest of the team, seeing the drive, the determination and the team spirit, which I'd lost since leaving the military. It's not about the medals, it's great to go away, and in this case I've won 4 silver medals, fantastic, and there'll be mementos that I'll keep for the rest of my life. But I've taken much more away from this, as say the team spirit, the camaraderie, the bond, the friendships that we've created. But most importantly for me, it's given me that drive, that determination to get involved in sport and take it up thereafter.
Here we go. Andy, you're up first. Practice.
No matter the adversity or the difficulty, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes you just need assistance in finding that, and sports recovery is certainly a way to go forward.
I'm watching my dad play tennis and a bunch of other sports.
Oh, it's cold out, windy.
Nah, it's been going good. We beat the Air Force 4-0, Marine Corps 4-0, and then the Navy 4-0 through the pools, and then just played in the semi-final, quarter-final, sorry. Quarterfinals against the Australians, we beat them 4-2. Now we're in the semi-finals.
We're a Warrior 1 team today. All these other people have been playing together for years, and we just got together, and whew, it's going good so far. Undefeated.
I feel so proud to be part of it. It's to see all the different forces, all the different countries come together. It's just, I'm so proud to be here with them at his first games. It's really good. At first it was quite hard. We didn't have any backing, but then Help for Heroes and the Army eventually picked in. It's been a struggle, back and forth, all the hospital appointments. But the big turnaround for me was when he went down to Lilleshall and he came back and he started to play wheelchair basketball. And once he got involved with all of that sport, his mood changed, his life lightened, my life lightened. It was just a big change, and I'm so grateful for everything that everybody's done in the last year now, and it's made a big difference to him. It could have went the other way, but I'm glad it went the right way and he's took to this. I really am.
It's been good. It's my first event, but I've been to see a lot of them. It's nice to see so many different people, different countries, it's like one big family. It's a nice atmosphere.
For me, it's just getting back, being active, being around other people, positive.
Warrior Games to me, it's like Vivi says there, it's getting back to within the military, a bit of banter, but it's like family that you sometimes lose when you get injured. It's always nice to come back together. It's a big family, everyone's gone through the same kind of stuff. So it's nice to just get out there and just compete with the soldiers.
Good deal.
3, 2, 1.
Warrior 1.
That was really weak.
Well, there's all the people behind, they can help.
Really weak. Right, everybody. 3, 2, 1.
Warrior 1!
Woo!
How's the game so far? How are we doing?
It's brilliant. It's just mind-blowing the amount of people that turn up and show support. It's brilliant, you know. I've never experienced anything like that. I'm not sure about yourself, but yeah, it's something that's not to be missed.
I keep telling everybody,
Tampa has knocked this out of the park, and they truly have. They've knocked it out of the park. I sort of kind of feel bad for San Antonio next year for the Warrior games, because I don't know how they're going to top what Tampa has done here.
I was serving with 6 years of the Royal Green Jacket in the light infantry, and then in 2006 I was injured in Iraq, Optelic 9, and then after that accident we amalgamated, became the Rifles with the light infantry in the Dorset. And since my accident I've been involved with Help for Heroes. Powerlifting, I'm feeling very confident. I have trained for powerlifting for a number of years, over 5 years now, and like I said, I'm raring to go. I'm proper psyched, and I just want to get on that bench and lift hard, lift heavy.
So if you come to powerlifting and it's a good lift.
I was excited to represent my country. You know, I've never had an opportunity to do this before, apart from serving my country, and it's an honour.
Simon Flores, well done, Hollywood.
My back is in rag. I feel great, you know, new PB, so I'm happy with that. You know, I got all my 3 lifts. You know, that was the main goal, is to come here, enjoy yourself. You know, if you leave with a medal, it's a bonus, but you come here for the experience, and it's absolutely fantastic. Great atmosphere. I got a personal best of 121 kilograms, which I'm happy with.
Going up, lock out, it is good. Emma Templeton from the UK. From the judges, it is good. Caroline Butler's third attempt and a personal best.
I was injured in 2009 and due to surgery going wrong, it led to a medical discharge for physical and mental health injuries. In 2015 I found out about the sports recovery programme and took part in the triathlon. And then I've progressed since then with more sports, and I've found more about adaptive sports and how I could adapt and which sports actually I enjoy doing now. Life hasn't quite turned out the way that I planned it to, or the way that you maybe envision it will do, but it's got a new direction, and it's a really good direction. So sport has been that catalyst to help me not just in physically, you know, become fitter. It's helped me mentally to become mentally fit. It's helped me with employment and given me a real big sense of achievement now. Yesterday I did cycling, and I think I left absolutely everything of myself out on that track. I know I lost a couple of hours after it, but that is what the Warrior Games is about. That's what the programme's about. It's not always about medals, because sometimes if you look deep inside yourself, the pride and the self-esteem that you start to build is probably the biggest medal that you could ever have. And to finish a race, just get to that finish line. You've done it, you know, you set yourself the goal to start that race and to finish it, and that's what's important. It's you being able to look in the mirror at yourself and be proud of yourself. I've heard of Warrior about 4 years ago, and I've watched people, you know, friends come out.
Please come see the announcer on court number 1. Seated directly
it's such a supportive environment. It doesn't matter what nation you're from, everybody is in it together, and you know, you make new friends, new acquaintances,
You find like-minded people within sports and in the same sports that you're interested in. You support each other no matter what, and it's just a really good way of feeling that you belong again, and the belonging is such an important part of recovery, and especially when you've served, you've spent that time together and in that community, and then when you come out it's just taken away, that's it. And that was the biggest thing I probably struggled with, and then through the sports recovery programme and then coming out to Warrior Games, it has been a catalyst to actually find myself again. And I'll probably never find the old me because I have changed so much, but I'm finding a new me that is so much more acceptable and that I'm really enjoying living with.
I'm reaching for the moon and I'm hitting every star going, and it's brilliant.
I was in the Mercian Regiment. I'm formerly the Cheshire Regiment. I served 12 years. My role in the army was machine guns and corps drums as well. I got injured in Afghan in 2010, and then I got medical discharge in 2012. When the Invictus Games in London was going on, I thought about trialling it, but didn't know whether to go for it until the Orlando one. And then when I started doing the Orlando Games, it kind of snowballed from there. Got into archery, and then I trialled for the Toronto Games. And then through the Toronto Games, I then become an archery coach, and I didn't get to go out there because it was a non-travelling reserve. And then it just gave me more chance and more determination to focus on the sport. It makes me feel good. I implement mindfulness when I'm shooting it with the archery, and it helps calm my nerves, and it gives me a bit more focus. So once I've done a day on a range, I can then focus a little bit more because it improves my mental health. I've met some really great people, and I've formed some great friendship bonds as well. So I feel very fortunate to have been given this opportunity to come out here and represent the UK once more.
I'm at the Warrior Games to support my husband. I'm also his wife, but also his carer, full-time carer. This is something that Alan's wanted to do for quite a while. If it wasn't for me coming out with him, he wouldn't have been able to come here because of his condition. Before we came out here, a couple of the lads decided to call me mum because I've been to the training camps with Alan and got to know the lads and the girls, which has been fantastic. They've welcomed me into the team. I was coming along just as a carer, but the staff and the team has actually made me one of the team. And I got named mum, which I don't mind because although I'm coming out for Alan, I know a lot of the other lads are struggling and girls are struggling because they've left the kids or the wives or the husbands. So I've said to them, anybody wants to talk, wants a hug, or just wants to sound off, I'm here for them. And I love doing it because I feel that myself is actually helping others that are struggling as well.
No, I just got to the back of the guy's head, just pull it up.
Helping out the team and the as much as I can while I'm out here is an achievement for me as well. Because in 2003, when Alan became ill, he was constantly with me for 4, 5, 6 years where I couldn't go out and do things. So coming out and supporting everybody else, it's like an adrenaline rush. So I always tell people, if the carer's not well, who's going to look after the care for? But I'm not taking that advice now. I just want to do what I can. I will have my time eventually where maybe after the games, when it all starts calming down, I'll have a little bit of a dip where I need support. But at the moment, I'm trying to stay strong. There is times where I've gone off for a half an hour or so just to have a bit of time for myself.
But yeah, I've always been the case of putting Alan first and then looking after myself later, which I always tell people not to do. But that's what I'm doing here. So eventually I will go down a little bit. I know, and I'm expecting me to have a little bit of a downtime. But as long as I've done what I'm here to do, I'm happy.
Sport probably saved my life. It saved my marriage, saved my relationship with my kids. Just saved me. Get help even if you don't want to do it. It's never too late for help.
Age 22 from the UK, Alexander Knox.
Well, my service background, I was always in the army and in REME as a vehicle mechanic and an instructor. And I started doing things with Help for Heroes when I done my recovery course at Tedworth House. I found out about powerlifting, started powerlifting, went to Malta, the Help for Heroes powerlifting team a few weeks later.
Alexander Knox. First attempt, 93. Caleb.
Then done the Invictus pathway last year, and then the Warrior Games call-out came. I was shocked, because I didn't expect. I don't think anybody expects truly to get a place, so I was shocked, happy, scared, probably a little bit apprehensive, probably a better word for it, but it felt good. Benefits, it just clears my head mentally. Any issues I have, any dramas I'm going through that particular day, be it a bad day at work, when I get in the gym, it all goes away. Then start afresh the next day, so I don't need to think about anything. Being at the Warrior Games is electric atmosphere, and it's like being at a concert.
Not a good feeling.
I know we've already had a bit of a chat about rowing, but how does rowing make you feel?
Well, at the time, not too good, because it is quite possibly the hardest sport I've ever done. One of the hardest things I've ever done, full stop, but never stopped sweating as much. I actually feel really good, because I get 2 PBs, so I can't really complain with that.
Being at the Warrior Games is just amazing. It has been the best experience I think I've ever had. Everybody is so supportive, you know. I've had so many people come up, shake my hand, got kids asking for your autograph, just making you feel special, you know, and yeah, I'm loving every minute,
Dave, how are you feeling?
Oh, shattered. Glad it's over.
Give me a whole sentence.
A whole sentence?
Yeah. String something together.
Oh, I'm never signing up for rowing again.
Wheelchair rugby, like I say, if I hadn't found out, you know, it just brings a smile to my face. The enjoyment I get out of that, it has been addictive from the moment I started. Like I say, I've been doing it, I started in November, and yeah, I can't wait. Every week, get in my chair, get on the court, bash a bit, and yeah, love it. And the guys I've met through sports recovery, through the wheelchair rugby, the coaches, the players have been absolutely amazing, and they just encourage me, and I think that's what I needed. I needed that push.
Trust me, you're not going to catch him. That's the 100-meter champion.
So doing the interview for ESPN was amazing. It was weird, you know. It was, you know, having a company. You know, ESPN is a global brand, and having them want to interview me, and the guys in the management here putting me forward for that interview. Yeah, it was. I never thought I'd be in that situation. I was just feeling lonely, I think, more than anything else. You know, I have friends back home, but when it comes to being in the armed forces and the family that you build in the armed forces, for me it's just different, and yeah, and it just brings a smile to my face. You know, I mean, from the moment I've arrived here, I've just smiled and laughed every day. And at home, you know, my job, I work at home, I'm alone a lot of the time. So yeah, so it just builds up a bit of loneliness. Whereas now, you know, being in this, it doesn't matter whether you're US, Australian, UK, we all come up and shake hands and we have a laugh, and you know, same mindset, and it just, yeah, just makes me happy. Yeah, after the interview and being told I've been put forward for it, yeah, I've got to be honest, I'll probably cry a little bit, especially later. So.
Painkillers aren't working, and then hospitals aren't helping, so now I'm pretty much living day to day in pain. So standing, sitting, sleeping are all issues that I have to be aware of, and then making sure that I'm not on my feet too much, and I walk with a walking stick now. Since my injury playing rugby, I've found wheelchair basketball, now wheelchair rugby, and I'd say swimming as well now from this last week, even though I did pop my shoulder halfway through. Just giving you my life back, really. It just, you don't have to worry about being injured, you're just in a basketball chair playing basketball with whatever team you're with. As a group, you forget about everything else, you just concentrate on everyone. So you all look after each other, and we've all got each other's backs. If one person's on a downer day, we'll bring them up and try and get them happy.
As in, UK on 3. 1, 2, 3. UK!
Instead of having to sit there and go, oh, I'm not feeling well today, I could just leave that at the door, get my basketball chair and just go and have a laugh, and basically you leave it at the door. I get out of the house, I don't have to sit there at home worried about what I'm going to do the next day. I know that at least twice a week I can go play basketball, and I've got more things to look forward to.
Gemma, hello, how are you doing? How was the cycling today? It was amazing, even though they did not appreciate Baby Shark in any way, shape or form. What? Who didn't appreciate Baby Shark?
Martin, your man bag.
Yeah, we're going to have to teach the Americans a thing or two about dances back in the UK. I thought it came from America as well. So, second silver in cycling and 2 golds in powerlifting. You must be feeling... Rowan. It's been a long day, viewers, I apologise. Take 2. So Gemma, 2 silvers today in cycling, followed by a gold, 2 golds in rowing, and a PB in powerlifting. How do you feel? I think that's fair enough for friends and family. I also want to speak. Oh, we've got our team captain here. We've got Georgie with us today. Georgie, how are you feeling about the team and what they're achieving?
They're doing fantastic. I tell you. They've got and has anyone in particular from any other nations caught the eye of any of the team members here?
Oh, we've got brown.
We've got operations
Brown under, guys, and that is not how it sounds.
and that's just to get Emma a husband.
Okay, yeah, I like that operation.
Your second husband? My second husband, and we need, Lindsay needs a husband. And then there's loads to pick from, so yeah.
So a good array of men.
She's adding the Facebook friends as we speak.
Oh, okay. Is that why she's not here right now? She's currently stalking someone. Our vice captain. We'll come back to the vice captain in a minute. I want to speak to Coach Kate. Coach Kate's with us. Hi, Coach Kate. How are you feeling?
Hey, I'm pretty tired.
Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty proud.
What's been your highlight?
Oh, there's been many highlights.
Yeah, we can tell it's in your hair.
My highlights have been. I think my highlight have been powerlifting. To be honest, my highlight was actually just trying to get through the powerlifting without doing any damage to any of the athletes, without tying them down so tight that they go really high and squeaky. But my highlight is being here with the guys, you know, sharing it all, making sure that we're all good, we're all happy. It's my highlight.
That's Coach Kate, everyone. Thanks, Coach Kate, for everything you've done. I want to now speak to Julie Izzard, because she's been phenomenal this week. Julie, can I have a word with you? You're on live with Amy in the bleachers. Julie, you've been labelled mum of the group. How do you feel about that?
Fine, Shark, that's what she is.
Young mum, let's be real. So, who have you had to look after the most other than Alan? Hollywood, why are you being so high maintenance with Julie?
She's a liar. She's the worst pool player I've ever played with in my life. You know, she comes across as all innocent, but she's not. She's really a...
For the viewers at home, can we understand where the name Hollywood came from, please?
I kind of gave it to myself.
Why does that not surprise me? Sorry, we just had an infringement in the studio there. Who else? Derek's at the back. Derek made it, everyone! So, Derek, how do you feel about making it out here?
Absolutely fantastic.
You've got a gecko in your back.
You're not allowed to talk to the press about the press officer.
It's alright, Josie's approved it. He knows the lines, guys, he knows the lines. Alan McSween's here. Alan, 3 Warrior Games records. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my effort. I'm proud of the guys that come out and support.
Just to see how it feels.
Mr.
Bling!
You were part of the volleyball team today. How did that feel?
I feel really good for a team that hasn't played very much together. I think we played pretty well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get a win, but next time.
There's always tomorrow, isn't there? There's always tomorrow. There's also Ben out here. Ben, I haven't spoken to you.
Got a bit of a sore arse at the moment.
Could you enlighten us as to why that is? Because there might be some questions.
I got over in the physio. I've also been playing seated volleyball, so he did pop on the floor.
Did you enjoy sitting volleyball?
In the physio table.
I don't really know what to say to that. So
Everybody enjoys the spot.
We've got Nobby over here. Hi Nobby, how are you? Knackered. So you've been playing 2 sports today, is that right Nobby? Yeah. And which one have you enjoyed the most? Sitting volleyball and wheelchair rugby?
Definitely. We beat the Aussies.
We did beat the Aussies today. And you scored some great goals. And I want to finish up the bleachers with Amy, on the bleachers with Amy, with Midge. Hi Midge, how are you doing? Yes. So Midge, you have absolutely pushed yourself to the limits this week. What's been your highlight?
Team welfare.
Team welfare, everyone. Team welfare. You absolutely smashed your own set record on the bikes. That must have felt pretty good.
Certainly did. It hurt as well.
It hurt. Ladies and gentlemen at home, if you didn't see it, he was phenomenal. The last person is obviously the man that makes it all happen, Mr. Martin Culver. Martin, is there anything you want to end on?
Well, I just want to say how phenomenal everybody's been, both the team and the team behind the team. Well done, folks.
So just to end this episode of Amy on the Bleachers, can I get a Team UK?
Team UK! La la la! La la!
When I retired, I found I had a lot of time on my hands, and I started to think about what I'd done in the past and good memories, but enclosed with that was all the bad memories as well, and they came to the front, and I started to think more about the bad things in life all the time, to the point where I was having nightmares every single night, and I was sinking into quite a deep depression. I went to see the doctor. He recommended I contact Combat Stress, where I did a course with them for 2 weeks, and they recommended me for Help for Heroes. Since I've joined Help for Heroes, I can say things have not looked back. UK! The spirit of the games is way above what I expected. The comradeship between the team, the spirit within the team. You don't have people shunning you to one side. Everybody wants to know you, everybody wants to be friends, everybody wants to help. I've never had so much help in all my life. It's been really great being here this last week. There's all the other teams that you can watch and support, and they all accept you as one of them. You know, there's no outsiders, there's no us and them, it's all, you're a sportsman, you're an athlete. But at 69, I think, an athlete? No, never. But I gave it my best. Being part of the Warrior Games mentally has helped me no end. It's through the roof. The feeling, the spirit within the games and all the events, the arenas. When you go into the arena, you're like a gladiator, and it's fantastic, the feeling, the support. Everybody's cheering, and it's overwhelming, but at the same time it's uplifting, and it's certainly succeeded with me. And if it wasn't for Help for Heroes, I wouldn't be here, literally. So thank you, Help for Heroes.
For me, being at the Warrior Games is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's something that I never ever expected to be taking part in. I feel incredibly honoured. I feel very proud of myself, and it's given me an opportunity to prove to myself that I am worthy and that I do deserve, to be included in things like this. I was medically discharged from the Royal Air Force in 2010. I then went on to work for the NHS and came back to work for the Ministry of Defence. I was struggling for quite a while with pain, chronic pain, which was affecting my mental health, and my wonderful colleagues were very supportive and wanted the best for me, so encouraged me to get involved in some kind of help from a charity. That's why I got hold of Help for Heroes, and they welcomed me with open arms. Getting involved in swimming was a really big deal for me because it was something that I enjoyed doing. It was something that I thought that I could own my technique in, develop my skills and just enjoy. So the swimming course was wonderful for me, and then that obviously introduced me to all the different variant sports and the adaptive sports, and made me realise that actually I can do anything I want because everything can be adapted to suit me and my needs, and to suit somebody else and their needs. And I'm a real advocate now for getting involved in sports for both physical and mental health, regardless of your ability and how good you think you are at something, because I don't necessarily think I'm great at anything, but I'm being made to feel like I'm a bit of a superstar. So it's such a buzz, it really is such a buzz. I go to every sport and get behind my team because it means a great deal to me to think that they would do the same for me, they would support me, and I just want them to realise that actually I think that they're phenomenal.
Right, can we have a practice? Guys, can we have a practice? What? Alright, practice. Like pretend it's happening now. No, like I'm serious.
I think that each and every person on my team is awe-inspiring. They've got their own agendas, they've got their own demons, and everyone is setting goals, accomplishing their goals. And I just think it's incredible, and I want to be there to cheer them on and just to make them feel as though they're special.
So I have to dive in, swim as fast as I can, tumble turn, swim fast, touch the wall, done.
11 years in the military as a soldier and officer. So I was medically discharged 2 years ago, and I started with Help for Heroes January 2018. So mine's mental health from HERIC 13 and HERIC 17. So I had some treatment during service, and then I've been supported really well kind of post-service as well, especially through hidden wounds. It really affects my energy levels and my ability to mix with other people. So I have a lot of time spent alone, at home, and just small doses of exercise. So that's why I've got involved with the swimming and the powerlifting, because there's a short amount of exercise, short burst, and then lots of rest. And then I find it easier to socialise with people when there's a specific thing you're talking about, so which would be the sport. Getting involved with the sport recovery and then the Warrior Games has really lifted my mood. I'm really engaging and supporting other people through their sport recovery as well now. So I've helped with my background coaching, helping them along their journey, and yeah, just cheers me up massively, and it really gets me engaging with others, and I've made some kind of lifelong friends. I didn't expect to get the medals, I did, so I got gold in powerlifting, which I was over the moon, so I expected maybe to be in with a bronze based on last year's results.
The gold medal winner from the United Kingdom, Emma Hamilton.
But the coaching I've had in the UK has been excellent, and my friends' support. It just makes me feel really powerful and strong, especially as a woman. You can quite often feel like weaker, or so it's really empowering, I find, going in the gym, training with the guys as well, because you're all on equal footing. So, and then to get a silver and a bronze in the swimming as well, I was just over the moon. I didn't expect it, but I got PBs, which was the important thing for me, and I came and I competed, especially days when I was feeling tired, and I could have quite easily spent the day in bed in the hotel and not got out, but the team kind of rallied round and brought me out myself a bit more.
I was a corporal in the RAF, served as a medic for 12 years and was discharged in 2007. I ended up working for Marie Curie in central London, which was a fantastic job working in a hospice. But I unfortunately had a relapse with my mental health, which meant I went off sick for a while, and I was at home and I was watching the Invictus Games from Sydney, and at that point I realised that I couldn't carry on the way I had been, trying to deny that I was ill, trying to deny that there was anything wrong with me. So I made the call the next day. End of last year, beginning of this year, we got an email saying, would you, in applications for the Warrior Games? I was like, yeah, why not? No clue. I thought there was no chance I'm going to get selected. And when I did, I deafened my dad in the car because I screamed so loud because I was so excited. And yeah, here I am in Tampa. It's amazing. I think for me, sport-wise, it's been a little frustrating because archery was my main sport, and I managed to tear my bicep halfway through the competition. And up to that point, I was doing really well. I had a 1 hour crash course in swimming with one arm with Westy, which was it was interesting. But I think I had to get in the pool, and I had to do my front crawl and I had to do my back crawl, regardless of how long it took me. My arm has been incredibly painful all week, but I did it. And I guess I got personal bests in both because I've never swum with just one arm. And the guys coming out to support me, you can hear the crowd cheering you on despite the fact you're last. That doesn't matter. For me, my win was just getting to the end and touching that wall. And I had one of the Australian girls and one of my teammates sort of swam out the last 10 metres and swam back with me, sort of cheering me on and egging me on and just getting me there because it was so tough. But I did it. We've all got our own stories. Our pasts can't be changed, but what we can do is turn the page, start writing a new chapter, start writing about how we can go forward, start changing how we go forward.
It's just a massive congratulations to you all. Like, us as staff have all been really proud of you all this week, and we do want to continue this Warrior Games journey for you. When you get home, it will be tough going home most likely, but please don't feel like you're going to drop off the edge of the cliff. There's lots of things you can do to start planning ahead and looking forward. You've got 3 people here on the staff team that have been to a Games before, so please do go and talk to these guys and ask them what they put in place. I know they've started having conversations with some of you already this week about chicken set and stuff like that for going home. And one last thing for me, I have to keep remembering things. We have done a postcard memento for each of you. So I'll come round as Kate's doing the awards and hand these out. We've just tried to capture a photo. Josie's been taking loads of photos and videos this week. We've tried to get a photo of each of you during this competition. We're giving it to you as a postcard memento to take away. Please do get each other to write on it, get people to sign it, do whatever you wish with it. It's just a gift from us to you as a snapshot of your games. So I'll come around and do those and I'll give the floor to Kate.
We'll start off with team cheerleader. Okay. This award is really difficult to give because you have all been amazing. You've all been outstanding with being there and cheering and showing support and picking up people when they've been down. But some of us will have to find our voices when we get back because they've been too good. But one person, however, stood out for many different reasons. His brilliant flag waving ability, shouting into his voice hoarse, and checking the team every day, just geeing us up and making sure that we're all putting together. So give it up for our team cheerleader today, Hollywood. The awards, obviously, that you guys have voted on this week. Without bringing them up here to have a bit of a say about them as well. So we've already said that you couldn't be here without your friends and family, and anyone who has or have had a carer will appreciate how dedicated you need to be to provide support full time every day. So Julie, you've been by Alan's side. So thank you for being loud and proud in the stands and for looking after us all. I tried to dub this award the Mother Hen Award, but Walmart didn't give me anything chicken related. So the best thing to do is a rubber duck.
It's traditional for me at the end of the game to say a few words about the incredible people who are the team behind the team. So you have had one of the most extraordinary experiences you've ever had in your life, and the people behind that are here in front of you this evening. It's the 9 team members who have supported you during all the planning stages of the games. They've supported you every step of the way during the competition period, and they're here again celebrating your successes.
I'd like to thank all of you for having the balls to apply for Warrior Games, for having the balls to go through the selection process, for having the balls to turn up to those training camps, and for having the balls to get on the aircraft and come out here and smash it. So thank you. You've done us really, really proud, every single one of you. Can we have a big cheer for the staff again, please?
Was it a personal choice?
Absolutely.
How are you feeling down here about this all being over?
Oh, honestly, glad to get me in bed.
Everyone's been very negative on this bus. How are you? Any last words for the viewers at home?
It's an amazing trip, and if you've got a chance, get in and try out. Join Team Warrior.
And Nobby, how are you feeling now? It's all over and we're on the way to the closing ceremony. Disappointed it's over. What I love. Oh, and Hollywood, I love the skirt. Do you want to talk us through your outfit choice today?
Well, I won it actually.
I don't think there are enough gold medals left for you to stay here. That's why we're going home. Charlie, everyone. Charlie is still the Warrior Games record holder for 2 swimming races, the 50 freestyle and the 100 freestyle in his category from 2015. How do you feel about retaining your title still?
Yeah. First cowboy, yeah, did that really well.
Chris, how do you feel about the end of the games? Everyone is so tired, people. We have had a great time, but everyone's tired. We're going to go to Colin in welfare, team welfare. How are you feeling, Colin?
Yeah, team welfare, great.
Team welfare, feeling good. Oh, we couldn't have done it without these two incredible women here. How are you feeling that we're all going to be going home tomorrow?
We're gonna miss you.
We're going to miss you too. So thank you for everything you've done for Team UK. Westy, any last thoughts for the camera? No, Westy's a man of many words.
Man of many words.
Rob, loving the
No
pink.
thoughts.
Anything you'd like to say about the week? It's been emotional. We're going to finish up with Martin Colclough. Martin Colclough, I don't know why I always say your name in full when I go on an interview, but how are you feeling about the team and that the week is finished?
It's been an incredible week. They usually are, and this week's been really special because of the amount of effort every single person here has put into either their competition or supporting the team. So I'm incredibly proud to be involved this year because it's been such a fantastic experience.
So that wraps up Amy on the bus, the bleachers and the pavement episodes. Thank you for tuning in, viewers. I'll see you again next year at the Warrior Games 2020. Stay tuned. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2019 TOD Warrior Games closing ceremony. This person is an inspirational individual who shows determination and courage in exceeding their own expectations. He refuses to be defined by his impairment. His resilience, perseverance, and attitude are an example to all. He has an infectious sense of humor which raises the morale of those around him. He truly embodies the spirit of the Warrior Games. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Flight Sergeant Paul Midge Hartley.
Westy, one word to sum up the games.
Over.
Okay, so tell us about your time in the Warrior Games.
My time at the Warrior Games in Tampa has been absolutely amazing. It's been fantastic to feel like part of the team, to support the team, and have them share their stories with me and see how far they come right back from when they started with Help for Heroes through their recovery journey to being selected back in January, February this year to now when we're about to fly home and everybody's achieved so much.
And what's your role been for the Warrior Games?
I have been the press officer for the games, so I've been going around getting interviews with people, filming people, taking photos and sending all of that amazing footage back to the UK to be distributed around the country. And we've had an awful lot of coverage. Everybody's really, really proud to see what you guys have been up to.
And what does it feel like to have been able to be part of the team, like when you were first originally asked up until now?
It's fantastic because I replaced one of our press officers back home who unfortunately couldn't make it. She's done a fantastic job back in the UK, dealing with everything that I'm sending back and getting that out around the country. But to kind of come into it just a few weeks beforehand and feel as involved as I have done with the team and get to know all of you has been brilliant.
And have you done anything like this before, the Warrior Games?
I have. This is my second Warrior Games, and I've also done the Invictus Games 3 times over and been on the UK side for the 4th game. So I've been quite involved in sports recovery communications for a while.
Yeah, and so does this differ much from like the Warrior Games and the Invictus Games that you've done?
I think with a team of 20, quite often it's a bigger team. With a team of 20, it's allowed us to be more involved in everything, get to know every single person. I've interviewed 20 people, in fact I've interviewed 21 people with Julie, who is Alan's wife and carer.
And she's amazing, by the way.
She is amazing. And it's just allowed us to look a little bit more in depth at everything, and tell those stories a bit more than we normally would do. So it's been a great atmosphere and fantastic to be involved in.
And what's been a highlight for you for this time?
So many highlights. I think getting to the end and hearing everybody tell me about their achievements, and seeing the people who were so nervous trying to get on the plane in the first place, who have just come out here and smashed PBs, smashed the personal achievements through the roof. It's brilliant, and this is why I love coming to work every day. You couldn't ask for anything more.
And is there anything that you'd like to say to the team or people that want to apply for the Warrior Games? Because I know that you haven't coached, you've been a bit of an outsider in terms of the fact that you haven't really been massively involved with arranging the games or getting the actual people here. You've done a great job of getting our media and our photos for our families and stuff to see, but for future people or people that are maybe a bit apprehensive about applying for this?
I think being, like you say, on the outside of it, I've had almost a privileged position really, because I'm not as involved, that I can stand back and take a bigger view of everything, and I think just being able to see that and see all the little things going on without being so close to it has just allowed me to see how important this is to each and every one of you, to see how you'll be able to take this forward into the next steps. A lot of the team are going to compete at the Invictus UK Trials in a few weeks' time. A few of the team are doing the May Games in August after that. Help for Heroes are supporting all of it, and to be able to do that and piece all those things together on that journey it's incredible.
Would you like to be more involved with these sort of things, and other than just doing the media, would you like to be more involved in the sport?
I feel like I am involved in the sport. To you guys it might feel like I've not kind of been as involved in the sport as the coaches would be, but for me that's my job, to oversee everything and to make sure we're getting those stories and the footage and the pictures, and that's what I do, and I tell your stories in the way they need to come across to make the public in the UK see that there is an ongoing need for support, and they need to help you achieve what you want to achieve through support and Help for Heroes.
It has been amazing out here, hasn't it?
It's been incredible. Cannot fault a single day.
Yeah. So we're really grateful for what you have done for us since we've been here. I know a lot of us don't show it because the majority of the time when you're near us, we are absolutely hanging out after just competing, so it doesn't always come across that we are grateful, but without you we wouldn't have memories to take home, we wouldn't have our pictures to show our family. So from all of the team, we are generally grateful that you're here and that you're doing it for us.
Thank you.
Josie, everybody.
And can I just say a massive thank you as well to every single person back in the UK. That's all of you guys, because without you all these stories wouldn't be getting out there, and there's been so many people behind the scenes that you guys haven't seen involved in putting all of that out there back home, and when you get home you'll see all the coverage and you'll see just how well you've done. I'll be sending that all to you.
Thanks, James.
Now, how does it feel to be on the other end of the interview?